Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is Yumsau family, single family. We are going to talk about something small. Can you imagine I'm on live alone? No view, no like. This thing is really what I don't know. So we are on live. I'm still new here. That's why you're seeing that I can go ahead and look for people who are seeing me. They are nowhere to be seen, but otherwise we are going to talk about family planning still. With the family planning, many women have a lot of problems. So whenever I go live, I feel like let me say something small about family planning. Family planning, just as you hear the word family planning, it means this is already organized community. We have the mother, the father, and children. That's what we call a family. But some of us, we don't want to, we use family planning when we don't have families, which is not good. It is not good at all. For example, you are a student, you're using family planning. You don't go to hospital such that they can help educate you on the best family planning methods. For you just use any. It is very wrong. There are some specific family planning methods which are supposed to be used by specific people. When you are a student, sweetheart, you should not go in for injection. You should not go in for implant. You should not go in for tablets. No. And we always, with the students, the problem they have, they hear something, and yet it's good that you're educated, but you have no time to go to Google and Google about something. You just start on something without consulting, without knowing the effects you expect later, and that's why you end up coming out after school. You look for a baby, and the baby is nowhere to be seen. Family planning methods which are fit for the students. Use safe methods like safe days. If you take time and you give me your ears, by the end of today, you'll be knowing how to use your safe days, and you'll be okay with it, and you will not even have any problem with it. You'll be there enjoying life, no risks, and at the same time, there is nothing like pregnancy. You'll be happy, and at the end of studies, still you can conceive. With these family planning methods, for example, injectable, implants, pills, they have hormones in them. Yeah. And if there are hormones in them, it means that they can put some effect in your body. Because when you use those hormonal methods, what they do, some of them, one, they make your eggs, in layman language, or the ova to sleep, to be at rest, such that they should not grow to conceive. Secondly, they make the uterus unfavorable for conception. Now, the problem comes in when you are using those family planning methods, and your uterus is big-headed, or it is a kind of a uterus which does not what can I say? What do I want to say? Which can reverse itself very fast. There are some uterus whereby reversing is a problem. When those hormones make it unfavorable, it can remain like that for some good time. And that's why you see that some women who are on family planning, they can take days, months, years, struggling to look for babies, and they can't conceive, just because the reason is your uterus was taken up by the family planning methods you were using. So for the injectable, implant, and the pills, I would suggest that if you're a student, please leave those methods. And the NEB, if you're to use those methods, make sure that at least you have your children, at least 2 or 3. Why? Because some people are ending up with secondary infertility because of hormonal methods. Some people are ending up with the secondary infertility. People have looked for children. People are yearning to conceive, all in vain. Why? Because of these hormones disorganizing their system. So I'm requesting you that today we are going to talk about these family planning methods. Let me first look around. I always move with my sample such that we can talk about something we are seeing, and I want you also to know how to use them, right? How to use them. My family planning methods, they are here. Because some people are like, but how can I use the implant? I mean the tablets. How can I use the injectable? This is the injectable. These are pills. And we have also the implant. I'm looking for the implant. I'm looking for the implant. Oh, okay. So, now, let's start with these pills. Some people complain, when I'm breastfeeding, my baby is 1 month, but Musao, when I started the pills, I stopped, there is no breast milk, the baby is not breastfeeding. What can I do? Here is the answer. The implant looks like this. You're seeing that? That is the implant. It's the one we put in your hand. Then these are the pills I'm talking about. And this is the injection. Injection, we have 2 types here. We have this one and this one. This is injection. So, these 3 methods, all of them are hormonal. We are going to talk about them. Then after, I'll go and talk about the non-hormonal methods. So let's first talk about the pills. Very many people use these pills. Why? Because they can say, after all, for me, I just swallow when I feel like. I swallow the day I'm expecting my husband to come. Please, that is not how we use these pills. No. How do we use the pills? The pills are in different colors. You can find that this one, there is cream and brown or red. This one is also cream and red, but they're different, you see? Look. Then this one is only white. A person who is breastfeeding a child of 1 day to 6 months, we use this kind of pills, which are having the same color. Then these ones, if the baby clocks 6 months and more, we use these ones, which are having 2 colors. What is the reason behind this? The reason is that these ones which are having the same color, they have 1 hormone, which does not make the breast to disappear. When you use this method, I mean when you're using pills and you're breastfeeding a baby below 6 months, you are supposed to use pills which are of 1 color. Why? The moment, that's how it was made, to differentiate them. That these ones are for those mothers who are less than 6 months. You breastfeed the baby from one day to 6 months. You're supposed to use these ones which are having 1 color. Then the other thing why they don't put this brown one, and these ones here, why they put the brown ones, we know that at the end of 6 months you start menstruating. Now if you start menstruating, it means that these brown ones, this is the week for menstruation, and these ones, they have 2 hormones in them Why 2 hormones? They put those 2 hormones because they are now suppressing, you know, your hormones not to do what? To start to conceive. But these ones, they're just because you're breastfeeding, there will be other hormones which will be there and they'll be at a higher level. And by the end of 6 months, that's when they will go down and you have to shift to this. So how do we swallow these pills? When you are going to swallow these pills, always you look for the arrow. On each strip there is an arrow. You see this one, the strip is, it shows that this big arrow, so you start from here, and it means that this is day 1. Even when you go to this one, you can see this is showing that this is day 1. Even on this one, still you can see that there is that arrow showing you where to start from, and even the word is written there for a reason. Each tablet you're seeing here, it represents a day. And when you've decided to use these pills, one, when you are saying you're going to use pills, make sure that every day you use 1 pill at the exact time. You choose the time and you choose the type of these pills you're going to use. Every day, if you want these pills to work for you effectively, you're supposed to use each day 1 pill. And what you should know with the pill, if you happen to swallow the pill at this time, it is 11:40 something. Is it 11? It means that that pill you've taken now, it will start working tomorrow at this specific time. Many women come complaining that I use family planning but I conceive. There is a reason for that. Some of us, you want to swallow the tablet now and you go and meet your man now. No. When you use the tablet now, it is not yet in the system. The tablet starts working in your system after 24 hours. And still, these pills, it stays in your body for 24 hours, and it is done. So, when you happen to swallow a pill now, tomorrow by this time, it starts working. So, what makes women bleed on and off, on and off, on and off, it is because when you're using pills, it just works for 24 hours. And the moment you don't put in another pill, it means that those hormones in your body, they will start like waking up. As they are trying to wake up, again you suppress them. You make the body confused, and that's why you see that there is that bleeding on and off, on and off, on and off. Why? The thing which is causing that on and off bleeding, because you're not maintaining the time you're swallowing your pills. Some mother, they have a problem of not menstruating. The moment she starts with the pills, she will not menstruate for days, for months. You know why? It is because these are hormones. In your body, you also have hormones. These ones have not yet stabilized in the body. It's like there is a fight. Your hormones are fighting with these hormones. These ones are saying no pregnancy. The ones you're having in the body are saying, I am supposed to prepare monthly. What are you talking about? So in so doing, because they have not yet negotiated, there will be either you can stay without bleeding at all, or you'll have spottings, you bleed on and off, or you can bleed the whole month. Why? Because the hormones have not yet come to common understanding. That's why we are saying, when you've decided to use pills, it is not that you have to use a pill the day you are expecting to meet your man or the day you're expecting to have sex. No, it is that when you've chosen pills as your family planning, it is supposed to be taken every day at the same time, and a must, not optional. The moment you start swallowing today, you jump a day, you swallow tomorrow, you jump a day, it means that the hormones will not do what? Will not come to a common understanding. That is one. That's why you already see that some women complain that they bleed on and off, on and off. Then too, why is it that people on pills, they end up conceiving? It is because a pill works for only and only 24 hours. So if you happen to take the pill now and you happen to meet a man in these 24 hours, it means that that pill is not functioning, is not yet functioning. It is not yet in the bloodstream. It will start working tomorrow, same time. That is one. Another thing, these are hormones. If you know that you have a chronic disease, or you have some tablets which you're swallowing on a daily basis, mostly in those chronic diseases, for example, TB, cancer. Some of those drugs for TB specifically, there is a way they suppress these hormones. So if you are a person who is on family planning method, please inform your healthy worker who is going to supply to you. Tell her that please, I'm on ARVs, I'm on drugs for TB. There are some specific drugs I'm using, such that they will tell you whether those drugs can suppress these hormones, because sometimes you find people with HIV on their ARVs and they end up conceiving, and yet at the same time they are using family planning methods. What causes that is that those drugs, there is a way they suppress these hormones and they overtake. So if you know that you are on you have a chronic condition and there are some specific tablets you are on, please, when you go for a family planning method, remember to tell the medical personnel that please, I'm on cancer drugs, please, I'm on TB drugs, and if possible, show these drugs to her or to him, such that they can guide you accordingly. What if I happen to forget? Musao, you're saying I have to swallow this tablet on a daily basis. What if I happen to forget? For example, I've traveled from where my tablets are, I go somewhere, I sleep there a night. Fine. When you go somewhere and you forget to swallow your tablets, the day you come back, the day you, like one day, the time you report back home, go and get that tablet, you swallow it there and then. Then that real day, you remember at the other time which you used to, where you swallow your tablet, always swallow. So it means that day you will swallow 2 tablets. For example, you swallow it, you've come in the morning, and the usual time for swallowing your pill is at 11. When that time comes, still you make sure you swallow another pill that day. You're compensating the other day. Another thing, if it happens that you go for 2 days, you come back, you forgot it, to swallow your pill, what would you do? Please, still do the same. Take the 2 pills that moment you've arrived. Then the usual time when it comes, you swallow the 3rd pill. But the side effects will be very heavy. Nausea, but that's what it is. But if you happen to leave this pill for 3 days without taking it, when you come back, just discard. Just discard, and you start a fresh strip. How do we swallow these tablets? There is an arrow. On each and every pills we have an arrow. This arrow, this is what we follow. Each pill represents a day. Don't swallow any pill you feel like. No, you're supposed to follow the arrow. The arrow here is telling us, today I swallow this one, tomorrow this one, the other day, the other day, the other day, like that. When I reach here, I go down. Like this, like this, like this. Each day, 1, 1, 1, 1. When I reach here, the arrow points down. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. The arrow points down and you swallow like this. The moment you reach on these browns, you start menstruating. What happens to us? That you swallow any tablet you want. Please, each pill here represents a day. So if you're deciding to use pills, please make sure you swallow each pill according to its day, the same time, use your time. Make sure you use this pill every day at the same time, not on a daily basis. When you reach on these red ones, these ones, they have no hormones in them. So this is the time for menstruating. We are there and we are still continuing. That's how we use pills. That's the problem you have. The problem you have is that you don't know when to swallow these pills. That is it. You choose the time which is convenient to you, and you make sure that you swallow every day the same time. And don't jump from one to the other. No. Make sure you follow the arrow, because there is always an arrow. And these ones, what makes you to differentiate a woman who has just delivered, yours will be of one color. That is in Uganda. I don't know elsewhere. This one is for those ones who are breastfeeding. These ones, the breasts will not disappear. The milk will not, the breast milk will not disappear. But this type, because there are two hormones, there is a hormone which will suppress the milk, right? So this one, you leave it to those who are not breastfeeding and those who are breastfeeding a child above 6 months. Why 6 months? It's because by 6 months, the child has already started having additional foods. So even if the breast milk disappears or it reduces, yeah, this baby is feeding on other foods. But if it happens to a baby who is less than 6 months, remember that baby is supposed to be only on breast milk. That's why we are saying don't use these ones which can make the breast disappear. The same applies to those of the breastfeeding mothers. There are days on these pills. Days can be seen. So day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. So you swallow them according to the days. All right, then we go to this giant man, the injection. Mr. Giant Depo-Provera or injection. I wouldn't advise anyone to use injection before delivering any kid. Here is the reason. It has more side effects. It has more harm than good. So, if you've decided to use the injection, please, let's leave it to those people who have delivered at least 2 kids. That even if you delay to conceive, at least you have some kids where you can look at them and you'll be like, mashallah, I have my kids. But to those ones who have never conceived, please, I don't advise you to use Depo-Provera. I don't advise you to use injector plan. Injection, we leave it for families whereby they have got 2, 3 kids. All these methods I'm talking about, they have side effects. You feel like you're nauseated. You feel like headache. That is spottings, bleeding on and off. Why? When you've just started an injection, when you've just started, for example, those who are ready to use the injection, some women, you will not see blood for some good months. Some, you will have heavy bleeding, what we call, some will get metrorrhagia. This is bleeding for some good time, like 2 weeks without a full month. Some will have metrorrhagia. Metrorrhagia, it will be there, that bleeding on and off, on and off, on and off anytime. You don't expect, you have to move with your pads all the time. So with the injection, with the tablets, and with the implano, you can expect bleeding on and off, on and off when you've just started. But if that's the method you want, please just continue using. After the first dose, second dose, you will stabilize. It is always there. It affects in the first 3 months. But after the 3 months, 4 months, you stabilize and you continue normally. So those are, injection is for 3 months. There is one for 3 months. There is one for 1 month. Then there is a tablet. You people, you most people want emergency pill. Emergency pill. Emergency pill. My dear ones, if possible, leave out anything concerning with the Emergency pills. Emergency pill, as you hear the word emergency, it is supposed to be used only and only in emergency cases. And what are emergency cases? For example, a condom has ruptured. We can use an emergency pill. Or when you are raped, hi Sylvia. Or if you are raped, right? There, you can do what? You can use an emergency pill. But you people, you move majestically. You go and undress yourself. You go live. Then in the morning, you buy your emergency pill. Emergency pill, just one pill is packed with the hormones of equivalent to 80 these normal pills. And what happens to you? You're pumping yourself with a lot of hormones in your body. And a lot of hormones in your body, do you know what they do in your body? Too much hormones in your body. Some people are ending up with endometrial cancer. Emergency pill, it has high levels of hormones in it. If possible, please avoid using emergency pill. Emergency pill, at least in a year, you should use it for once in your lifetime or twice, because it is used only in emergency cases. Let me ask you, among you people who are seeing me right now, who has ever got an emergency like a rape? In your lifetime, you can pass out through your life without without being raped. So you shouldn't go for emergency. It is rare to get someone who doesn't know how to use a condom, and it ends up rupturing. A condom just ruptures when you don't know how to use it. You don't know how to prepare your girl. You don't know how to fix a condom. You fix it and you don't leave that space where you fix it with air in it. So that's when it will rupture. And those are the only reasons why you should use emergency. But you people, you take it for granted. You use the emergency pill anytime you feel like. My darling, it is not good. Emergency pills, it is for only emergency cases. Leave emergency pills for emergency cases. I have some people here. They always have a question on this. This one. The one we put in the hand. It is common with those people who are abroad. So I got an implant from home. The implant from home. Now I've been here for 3 years or 4 years. It is now expired. Do I have any problem I can get when it has taken long without being removed? Of course, anything which expires is always bad, right? First and foremost, you just know that if it expires, it means you can conceive. If you happen to play sex with a man, you will conceive even if it is still there, because it has expired. Then secondly, you shouldn't worry so much, because some people are like, Musa, what should I do? No, you wait until you come back and they remove it. But anything, of course, I will not tell you that it is good for you to stay there for long. But again, you shouldn't hang yourself because they have not removed it. From there, we are going to talk small about natural. I would advise any woman outside there to use the natural family planning method. Natural family planning method would be the best method for all of us. Why? Because you're not disturbing the body. The body remains stable, and anytime you want it, baby, you can conceive. There is nothing you've introduced in yourself, right? Even these hormones we're introducing in ourselves day and night. How sure are we? How certain are we? But with the natural, as long as you know your cycle, as long as you know your menstruation cycle, everything will go on well. Everything will move on well. Let's learn how to use our safe days. You can't know your safe days when you're using any hormonal method. You can't know your safe days when you don't know how to count them. We start with counting the safe day. I mean the cycle. You have to know your cycle. Some women, their cycle is 21 days. Some women, their cycle is 25 days, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Even others have a cycle of 35. What is your cycle? Do you know your cycle? If you don't know your cycle, are you a responsible person? Are you inquisitive about yourself? Do you love yourself? How can you love yourself when you don't know your menstruation cycle? You know, mostly we Africans, we always tend to be lazy. We have that I don't care attitude. After all, they are family planning methods. Why should I know them anyway? Am I concerned anyway? Darling, you're concerned. You're 100% concerned because it is your life. When you end up getting secondary infertility, it will be you to suffer, to look for doctors and specialists and pay a lot of money. When you happen to get fibroids and what have you, it will be you to suffer. If you happen to get complications, endometrial cancer and what, it will be you and you alone to suffer. Right? So, don't you think it's very important for you to know your menstruation cycle? I'm telling you, some of you, even you don't know your blood group. You move like a corpse. You don't know anything about your body. The whites, for them, someone can wake up, go to the hospital just to carry out general body checkup. When this person is very normal, but they go to the hospital to check up just for general body checkup. When this person is okay, for us, we wait, they bring an ambulance. When you're badly off, that's when you go to the hospital. That is the problem with us. My darling, if you're a woman, you should know your menstruation cycle. It is a must you should know your menstruation cycle. It is a must you should know your blood group. Why? Because we women, we tend to bleed a lot anytime. Even a man should know his blood group. Why? Because anytime you can get an accident. As people are fidgeting to take off blood for blood samples, you tell them your blood group. That is a sign of being serious. Right? That shows that you're a responsible person. Stop taking things for granted. A man will not hesitate to give you the 5,000. You go and buy your emergency pill. But what is it causing in you? My sweetheart, it's high time we wake up. We wake up. Because first and foremost, we thought that these things are for whites, whereby you can go on YouTube and go live. People come here just to make fun. No, we can use these audiences to teach all of us. You know, just subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will always be here. I will always be teaching you. I'm a health educator, at the same time a qualified medical personnel. We shall be moving on slowly by slowly. Just subscribe. Just share these lives. Share with other people. Alright? How do you know that this is my cycle? I'm going to teach you today, excuse me, how to know your menstruation cycle. You and I, we have different cycles. We have totally different cycles. Mine can be 28, yours can be 30, mine can be 32, yours can be 35. Stop saying, me, Musawo, my problem is whenever I menstruate, my cycle keeps on changing. No. It doesn't change, but you don't know your cycle. For you people, when you look at the calendar, these calendars we put in the sitting room and wherever, you think, Musawo, for me it keeps on changing. This month I menstruated on 4th. Then next month I menstruated on 10th. Who lies to you? That calendar is not your calendar. Every woman has a menstruation cycle calendar. So that one can just help you to know your menstruation cycle. You get that calendar. If you want to know your cycle, this is what you do. You get your calendar. The bad thing, I don't have here a calendar. You know, being a teacher, I prefer teaching something what I'm practicing, such that my students can do what I'm doing. But I don't have a calendar here. So here we go. When you happen to have a calendar, go to that calendar. For example, this is August. It is coming to an end. When you happen to menstruate like today is 21. Circle that day. Leave it there. We always circle the first day we've started menstruating. The first day. The first day you've seen blood is the day you circle. Then you menstruate, you finish. You got the next month, that will be September. The first day you see blood, you circle. You leave. We come to August. The first day you see blood, you circle. The first day, you leave that calendar. You go to November, you circle the first day. We are supposed to do this for 6 to 7 months. Don't fidget to count. First leave it. After circling that first day you see menstruation in every month, the first day you see menstruation in every month, you go back and count the days in between. How many days are there between August and September? How many days are in the middle between September when I menstruated and October when I menstruated? How many days are there between October and November? From the day I started menstruating in November up the day I started menstruating in December. When you count those days in between, that is your cycle. Hello? And you will find that those days, they are the same in most cases. NB, don't do this when you've been using your hormonal methods. Why? Because you still have hormones in your body and it will give us wrong results. You have to do this when you are normal, you've not used any hormonal method, your menstruation is stable. And it will work for people who menstruate 3 to 7 days. Why? Because above 7 days, that is too much. And below 3 days, it means you have your problems also. But if you're kind of a woman who menstruates for 3 days to 7 days, and in every month you menstruate once, I repeat, if you menstruate for 3 days, to either 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that range from 3 to 7, you're good to go. And you menstruate once in a month, you're good to go. Count those days. Count those days in between. They will give you your menstruation cycle. After knowing your menstruation cycle, leave alone this one whereby they tell you, for me, I menstruate every 20th. No, that does not mean that you have a stable cycle. And people there who complain that Musao, and for me, I keep on changing days, it's just because you've not given yourself time to calculate the days in between and you get to know your cycle. Because you're following this cycle on your wall in your sitting room, that's why you're thinking that your cycle is not stable. Just do what I've told you. You learn to know your menstruation cycle. After counting the days in between, you might find there are 28, you might find there are 30, you might find there are 31 or 32, like that. After getting to know your menstruation cycle, when you know your menstruation cycle, then there you are eligible, or you can go ahead and use the safe days method to avoid pregnancy. The biggest issue here, if you're using safe days as a method, you have to include your man. Why? Because with the safe days method, those days whereby a woman feels like she wants a man 100%, those are the days which are unsafe. So if you've included your man and your man knows very well that we are using this as a family planning, he will be able to tell you, my dear, you want it, but remember. Or you will go ahead and use a backup method, that is the condom. You will have a backup method as a condom. If you're using safe days, you keep condoms in your house just for backup. In case you can't do without it and you know that you're in your unsafe days, then you use a backup method. And a backup method, we always tell you to use a condom. Some people use withdraw. Withdraw, to some people it doesn't work. And very many people have conceived because of withdraw method. Withdraw method is not withdraw method. You see people who are strong enough, people who have their semen with sperms, even this first semen, that one you lick, which has salt in it, it even has semen in it. So a man who has ever used that withdraw method, if a woman comes to you saying that she's pregnant, don't even bother to say she's lying. That might be your baby, because even this first semen, it has some sperms in it. So just the good method to use as a backup method is a condom. So after knowing that, okay, Musao taught me, I know now my cycle is 28 days. Then there we go on how to use your safe days. That first day you see menstruation is your day 1 in your menstruation cycle. Then on the 14th day is the day for ovulation. If you have somewhere to write, you can write these things. Then remember that a sperm, when a man, if the man ejaculates in you, if a man happens to ejaculate, a strong man, a healthy man, a man with his healthy sperms, he ejaculates 1,000 sperms per ejaculation. And these sperms, they take 3 days viable before they die. If possible, you can write somewhere. This is a very small class. This is a manageable class because I have a class of 4. I want all the 4 to understand, to get know what I'm saying. Make sure that you have your pen. We've said the first day you see the menstruation, that is the first day of your cycle. And we've said on the 14th day is the day of ovulation. And another thing we've said that the sperm for the man, it stays in you for 3 days. Then we are saying that this ovum, your egg, takes 2 days to die off. First get that. First get that. When it happens, so here we go. From day 1 to 10th day, I repeat myself. From day 1, when you see the bleeding, up to the 10th day, those are the days which are safe. For example, when you menstruate day 1, day 2, day 3, a person who menstruates for 3 days, it means that the balance of the 10, that is the 7 days, is safe. You can play sex, you can use all the styles you want, you can have morning, evening, and even keep some leftovers. Use all the styles you want. Don't use any backup. These days are safe because the egg is not yet ready. When you menstruate for 3 or 4 days, if you menstruate for 4 days, it means the 6 are safe. If you menstruate for 5, it means these other 5 are safe. If you menstruate for 7, it means the remaining 3 is safe. We said very well that the egg of the man or the sperm stays for 3 consecutive days in you. So if you happen to play sex on the 11th day, count 12th, 13th, 14th. And remember, we say that on the 14th day, the egg of the woman will be out, she will be ready. So it means you can conceive. So we are saying from 11th, and we say that the egg of the mother still remains in you for 2 days. So if it comes out on the 14th day, it means the 15th is also off. So we count 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and the 15th. 16th, you start your safe days until the day you see the periods. I don't know whether I've communicated today, but that is it. That from 11th to 15th, don't play live. Those are the unsafe days. To a person who knows your cycle, and you menstruate every month for 3 to 7 days, and your cycle is between 26 and 32 days. If you have a cycle less than that, don't you try that. If you have a cycle of 37 days and above, you can't try that. Safe days helps only people who menstruate once in a month, 3 to 7 days, because that for theirs it is easier for them to count, to know the days. So thank you very much for being part of my live today. This is my second live on YouTube. I'm really grateful if I've managed to get 8 likes, and as per now, since I started, I've been having people viewing. Right now I have 3. May God bless you, and I promise that I'll be having my lives here, talk about healthy issues, because I'm a healthy educator. I'll always be here, and I'm really pleased. This is my second live, but I've managed to get 4 people to view my live. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at Single Family 3073. I promise you I'll not disappoint you. We shall be sharing here. I deal with mothers and children. Those are the kind of, because I'm a specialized person, I specialize in midwifery. So diseases of women, I'm under gynae obs. So under that, we shall be enjoying every day. Evelyn, thank you for being part of this class. Sylvia, thank you for being part of this class. Banks, thank you so much. Lucy, thank you. Esther, thank you so much. May God bless you. Have a good day. Wow.